Listen, it does not need to be a new year, a new you. It just needs to be a new year, a healthier you. Because sure, okay, they trying to take us down at every front. So get some TLC products and up that metabolism and up that energy and up that immune system, okay, that digestive system. Get that all together with these TLC products right here. And don't forget, okay, sign up for ifyoucanmove.com and become a part of the online gym and shed the pounds, honey. Come on in, come on in, come on in, not come on in, not come. Sorry, y'all know I'm weird, whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue. So let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue and I am back for another, what is this? I was about to say Real Housewives or something, but this is Married at First Sight. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it. I had to pause for the cause because I just kind of felt like the energy is heavy and I haven't even gotten through the whole episode yet, okay? But I'm trying to get done multiple things before the Ooh Ladies first panel tonight, as well as my station head show that is literally in like an hour and a half. So I'm juggling a lot at the moment. Let's go ahead and get into Married at First Sight. So Ryan and Clara start off the episode. Like, we saw everybody getting up in the morning, blah, blah, blah. But Ryan and Clara are getting to know each other more. And she talks about how she was in plays in high school. He says he was a class clown. They discuss MySpace and, you know, how carefully curated their pages were, what their nicknames were, you know, how they would basically rate their friends publicly online. Like, you know, just reminiscing and getting to know each other. Then they get into Clara's bad taste in men and how many of them there have been over the years. And we circle back around to her falling in love a lot and him never falling in love and never telling anyone that he loves them. That is now becoming a place of fear for Clara, and we can tell, okay? The girls meet up and the men meet up. Everybody meets up, you know, kind of in a little separate gender group. And Brianna discusses noticing Vincent's lack of organization. And meanwhile, Vince is noticing her bossiness. Vince says that even though Brianna is bossy, he still feels lucky and like they've been matched perfectly. Jacob feels like it's too soon for everybody to be on this I have the perfect match tip shit that they're all on. He's on it. Eric is on it, you know, and I guess Jacob, even though I think he's into Haley, understands that what he and Haley have going on is not the same thing as what Brianna and Vincent and Virginia and Eric have going on, okay? And child, don't nobody want what Chris and Paige got going on, okay? Nobody wants it, all right? Eric seems to be inebriated on some edibles, you guys, because that didn't look like a drunk situation. That looked like I'm real loaded, I'm real zooted right now. And I believe they're in Vegas. So yeah, they probably got some edibles. Virginia is talking to the women, and I thought it was so funny that she didn't seem inebriated at all. I bet you they did it together, but because she does it so often, she's able to handle her high better. Because he was just, you know what I'm saying? He was all like that. And she's like, okay, and like my thing that I'm noticing with him, like the difference that we're having, like sis was sharp about it. In discussing him feeling like she can't have male friends, and you know, women can't have male friends unless those friends are married or gay. And she has a lot of male friends, and she says they don't want to sleep with her. And we see like a flashback of she and Clara talking about it, and Clara explaining that you're gonna have to like probably bring him to a lot of y'all get-togethers at first so he can become comfortable with you, your friends in your circle. And then, you know, he's out of town, you go out with your friends, you know, you kind of just work him into it instead of kind of throwing it all on him at one time. I get that, but it might still be an issue. But I personally feel like he's going to be out of town of a lot. Like, this shouldn't even be a topic of conversation. Unless there is something to worry about, unless something happens where you feel like you don't trust her or she doesn't come home one night. Like, unless it's something like that, I feel like there's no need to even worry about that. Because most times when people get into relationships, their other friendships shift and change in a way. Okay, like I have friends that I don't talk to every day. I love them. They're my friend. It doesn't matter. But we don't talk every day because we're either in relationships, married, working, in school, have kids. Everybody has shit going on. So at some point, these relationships kind of shift and change anyway. So I personally feel like there's no need to make a big deal about, men being friends with women, women being friends with men, and all of that shit, because ultimately how you handle relationships, period, is going to change when you get into a relationship, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, first of all. But I also want to point out that I feel like it's unrealistic for a woman to say she doesn't think her male friends want to have sex with her. I think that's unrealistic. I would never open up my mouth and say that. They, may not, they may not be into me in that way, and they may not be willing to take that leap. And what really matters at the end of the day is how I feel. If I don't want to have sex with you, if I'm not having sex with you, that is all that matters at the end of the day. Do you hear me? So I just kind of feel like he should trust her until he has a reason not to. And that's just how I feel about it. Haley discusses how the issue for her is getting used to being with someone. She's a single woman. She's not used to living with someone. But Jacob has been very, respectful of her space and the type of person that she is. And the girls are like, yeah, he's really into you. And I'm like, yeah, but he over there acting like, I don't want to, leap head first into saying things are perfect. But, you're kind of swooning. You're kind of swooning like everybody else. You're just being more cautious. Clara says that if she could have created her husband in a factory, Ryan would have popped out. He's perfect. But it also makes her feel like she's waiting for the other shoe to drop. So his issue of never telling someone that he loves them, never being in love in a relationship, I feel like her anxiety is making her zero in on that, because that's something that kind of taps into her own insecurity. And then there hasn't been a shoe that's dropped yet. So she probably feels like this is going to be our issue. And is he even going to be able to be in love with me? You know what I mean? But I feel like for Ryan, the fact that they're already married is going to make it easier for him to be in love with her, because he feels like that's such a special thing, to love someone, to be in love. So because he feels like it's so special, her already having the title will make it easier for him to think of her in that space. Whereas with other people, it's like, I've been trying to be cautious because, they're just girlfriends and I don't know how it's going to go. But when somebody's your wife, that puts forever in it. So if you do love them, if you do feel it, then it's easier to allow that to happen instead of trying to create an issue in your mind, like Ryan probably does in his previous relationships. So Chris brings up intimacy, and Eric says they haven't yet, but they could have. The energy is there. We could have, but we haven't yet. It just sounded like he was talking around it. I'm actually surprised they haven't had sex yet. But he's loaded as hell. Clara and Ryan are kissing and not telling, but it seems as if they did it, and she's pleased. Jacob and Haley did it. She says, we got really drunk one night. And I was like, why not? I'm married to the guy. And y'all, she was smiling so hard, which made me feel like she enjoyed it. And then everybody, switches over to Paige. Paige, how are you doing? I know we just haven't checked in with you. Listen, Virginia is not here for Chris at all, okay? This is when I saw the drinking or whatever she's on a little bit in a confessional, because she starts to talk so fast, she's kind of talking over her own words. But basically saying that, whatever Paige needs, let us know, because we know this is so hard for you and you're being so supportive. Child, when Clara said, you're a better woman than me, I could have passed out, because usually it's the black lady that's like, bitch, you better than me. It's usually us. So when Clara said that, I was just like, ooh, you ain't never lied. Ooh. So the guys then turned their energies towards Chris. Chris is like, there hasn't really been much that, has changed, but I made sure to tell Paige that she is my priority, that she's number one regardless, and that I'm still in this with her. Eric is loaded once again, y'all. So Eric is like, yeah, man, she's here for you. So you just got to make sure that you man up, man, because she's here for you. So you just got to make sure, man up, man. Man up. you know? And Chris is getting offended because he's like, you know, I told her the truth in front of millions of people. I mean, what about that is not manning up? And I'm like, first of all, you didn't tell her on your own fruition. You told her because the producers forced you to. Okay? Start there. Second of all, a man would be someone who would not have entered into this process and then had unprotected sex with his ex-fiance. Like, I'm still trying to understand what's going on there. Why your ex-fiance did not know that y'all was broken up, from what I'm hearing on the street. She didn't even know y'all weren't together. Okay? And now you get with Paige. You tell Paige she's not attractive, but you still have sex with her. That's not what a man does. I'm sorry. But a man, if he is not interested in a woman, doesn't waste her time or hurt her feelings. That's what a grown-ass man does. So when somebody tells you to man up, you know you done fucked up somewhere along the line. So don't sit up here and act like you don't know. I also feel, I just want to say once again, Eric is loaded out of his mind. And I feel like you taking anything he says personal is you being a bitch. That's all I got to say about that. So Haley and Jacob have lunch together alone, and Haley says that she is genuinely starting to like Jacob. Well, I wish you would let Jacob know, because he doesn't know. Okay, he asked her, like, you know, how you feeling about the intimacy, hand holding, touching, because ever since they had sex, she's been kind of acting a little funny. So he was looking for some type of confirmation, to which she did not respond. And that was kind of annoying. Okay. Like, why not, you know, say what it is instead of sitting there drinking your water and eating your food and looking around the room and shit? Like, answer the question. But she does say that she's working on being more expressive and being more open with her emotions, because she does have her walls up. All right. So Chris and Paige talk, and he thanks her for handling things with grace thus far. It's almost like patting someone on the head for taking the abuse you've given them so well. And they eat and discuss, you know, what life is going to be like after this. She has a dog named Bentley that she really, really loves. And she asks if he's going to, you know, help with the dog. Are you going to be comfortable taking the dog out in the morning? And he was like, I didn't say all of that. And he was like, you take care of the dog and I'll play with it. I'm like, so she can be a bonus mom. She can be a stepmom to a baby that is not even in its world yet. But you can't take her dog out in the morning? I don't know what you think married couples do, but usually it's us doing shit for each other. Okay? And that includes taking dogs out, making breakfast, finding toilet tissue, going to the store to pick up wipes, picking up my prescription on the way home, me cooking you something to eat to make sure you ate today. Okay? Like, all of those things, that's what couples do. And it's not going to be a one-way stream. I don't know where Chris and men like him get this shit from. Nobody is going to be waiting on you hand and foot and fucking you and not getting anything in return. Like, I don't know where y'all get that from. But she's now starting to feel like he's selfish, especially after he brings up how he doesn't believe in joint accounts. I was like, why don't you believe in joint accounts? You do understand that you can have a separate account and then you can have a joint account. Like, I'm so confused. You know, like, are you really worried about the one who actually has money taking something from your broke ass? Because the last time I checked, his Subway got closed down. I think he's a fronting ass, you know, to be honest. I think he's a fronter. I think he, you know, he for play. He not for real. Like, yeah, you might have had a little money, but I also feel like something about your attitude makes me believe that you're not always that great in your business dealings, because you don't seem like the type of person that takes responsibility well. And the one thing I noticed about shrewd businessmen who are about their money, they're not stupid. At least not like this. Y'all, Chris gives off stupid vibes, like puffy, but you just sound like somebody that's trying to hoard what you have, keep what you have from her. And oh yeah, he even said that, like, the presents that they got from the wedding, she was like, I'll bring over the presents from the wedding when, you know, I come to your house, you know, I guess when she moves in. And he was like, oh, if it's money, we have to split it down the middle. And she was like, we're married. There's no splitting anything down the middle. Like, what the fuck? He doesn't want to be in a relationship. He doesn't even want to be in a marriage. He likes what the picture looks like. He likes what that makes him feel like. To be a man with a wife and kids is a sign of status for a lot of businessmen specifically. But men in general, as much as they try to act like it's not, like, it's very much a sign that you are able to take care of shit if you have a wife and a family. I'm just saying, like, single men do make it out here, don't get me wrong. But it does look good a lot of the time, okay? So this whole idea that he can have these things without actually having to pour into them himself, financially or really emotionally, is just, like, I don't understand how he got on this show. People have been saying it all season, and I really don't get it. How did he get on this show, you guys? So Eric and Virginia talk about the amount of drinking they've been doing, and I believe that he now feels as if he's done too much. She's fine. She's doing a lot, but in general, she's handling her liquor better than him. And he explains that he can't do this every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with her homeboys and shit the way she do. And she's like, well, I think we're going to have to bend on that. And I think she feels like him saying he can't do it means that she can't do it. But he said to her, I'm not telling you what you can't do. I'm telling you what I'm not about to be doing, which is getting fucked up 3 nights out the week every week. I'm not doing that. And I just kind of feel like it'd be different if y'all were going out to eat. But y'all seem like bar hoppers. And yeah, nobody's doing that. Like, 4 drinks tops, when we went out to the restaurant, maybe we went out to a club one night that month, what I'm saying? But for the most part, especially in a pandemic, bitch, it shouldn't even be all that. Like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, nah. He does tell her that she has his full trust at this point, and it's up to her whether she keeps it or not, and vice versa. Brianna and Vince are getting ready for bed, and she's like, you want to try toner, and can you throw this away for me, and can you do that, and can you pick this up? And it's starting to come off very bossy to him. He also doesn't like to be rushed. You can tell he's one of those slow men that like to do things at their own speed, but then he's also stubborn. So even though you may need him to move faster than he's moving at the moment, he's still gonna move slow just out of stubbornness of not wanting you to tell him to move faster. I hate people like that. I think eventually that's gonna be an issue for them. They kind of glazed over it. They argued about it when the cameras were gone. And he basically said that, he felt like the way she was constantly barking orders at him was rude. And she was upset because it's like, I'm not trying to come off like that. And that's because she puts sugar on it all the time. She's not talking to you crazy. She's not like, do this, do that. She's like, can you do this for me, please? Oh, can you get that for me? Okay, you forgot. You got to get that. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's like that about it. And yeah, that can be annoying, especially when people have already told you she's bossy and you've seen it almost every day now. I get that. But ultimately, I do feel like some of you men are slow. Some of y'all are slow and aggravating as shit. Like, y'all be missing stuff. Y'all don't see stuff. Y'all don't be paying attention. And, your woman's mind is moving a mile a minute. So she's like, hey, hey, hey. And now you're annoyed by that. But the truth is, you sitting there looking like a bump on a log, okay, or on my ass. It's just as annoying as me snapping at you. So if you would respond to me before I get to this moment, then maybe we wouldn't have an issue. But they also discuss how she doesn't want him, like, kind of putting things on the back burner until he blows up on her, because he can and he will, and she does not want that. So that's also going to be an issue in their relationship. Virginia, Eric, Paige, Chris, Clara, and Ryan go ride some dirt bikes. And Clara and Virginia, I guess, felt that it was their business to talk to Chris about what's going on with Paige. Honestly, I understood where Clara was coming from, because Paige is quiet and now seemingly way less excited and happy than she was previously. So I think that even though they have not known each other long, it's definitely something we've all noticed. And Clara is just checking in, but Virginia is going in. Virginia is a habitual line stepper. Yes, Chris is an asshole, but you do dig in a little bit too hard, ma'am. Yes, you do. Okay? Like, first of all, y'all telling him that if it was y'all would have left. Yeah, y'all should have known that he was not going to take that the best way. And then when you express your worry just for Paige, then he tells y'all that y'all worry isn't genuine. When really it's like, no, you just mad that they don't care about your fucked up ass. Like, that's what this is. You're upset that nobody feels bad for you because you went out there and got your ex pregnant and still signed up for this process at the same time. You're a dog. And that was some dog-like behavior. And the fact that you don't see that and nobody has seen you take any responsibility for it where you are, it all seems like the world is doing it to you. I think everybody is pretty much reading Chris for who he is, and he's upset about that. Virginia, yeah, you're doing too much. Y'all shouldn't have even came to him in this way. But I also understand this is a reality show. And if this stupid ass dude is going to come on here in this situation, I don't know how he expects us not to talk about it. Like, your dumb ass is the one that signed up for this show after you continue to have unprotected sex with your ex-girlfriend. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you put yourself in this situation. But he says he doesn't owe them an explanation. You know, it's cursing at them. And Virginia says that, you know, you should be going above and beyond for Paige. And he's like, I am going above and beyond. I told her the truth. I didn't have to tell her the truth. That's embarrassing. And I was just kind of like, so you thought you was going to be able to marry somebody and not tell them that you had a baby on the way? I guess because you thought you were going to be able to get out of this process eventually. Like, at the end of it, you were going to decide not to be married to her, and then you never would have to tell her that you was having a baby. So you're more embarrassed by the situation, which makes me feel like you're probably going to be a shitty parent to that kid, unfortunately. But that's how I feel. Then he tells her he didn't appreciate the joke she made asking if the kid was really his. She may have said it in a like manner, but the truth of the matter is that's a real question that anybody would ask for somebody who just got married to one woman and now another woman is saying she's pregnant. Like, anybody would ask, you sure it's yours? Like, hello. Okay, I almost feel like he was upset just because the women were the ones asking him the questions. Because when the men were asking him the questions, he seemed to be fine with answering it. They're not one of the guys. I'm not going to answer their questions. And then he throws in Virginia and Eric's face that, you know, she's a drunkard and all they've been doing is drinking. So they need to be worrying about their own situation instead of worrying about his and Paige's situation, right? It's escalating. Eric is like, dude, calm down, puts his hand on his shoulder. Dude, don't touch me. I'm like, yeah, white people love doing that. Don't invade our personal space when we get upset. You getting closer to me does not make me want to calm down. It makes me want to punch you in the face. So I understood where Chris was coming from in that moment. Like, I'm just saying, I don't know what that is about white people, but y'all love invading people's space when they already angry. Anyway, even Clara felt like Virginia was doing too much. And she was like, I'm just here because I'm worried about Paige and her happiness. You know what I'm saying? So they walk away from each other once Chris has basically told everybody, F you, F you, F you. And so they walk away, but they go over to Paige to see how she's doing. And they're talking to Paige and just saying, you know, if you need anything, just let us know. This shit is crazy, da-da-da-da. He hears it, comes over to them and tells them that they need to stop talking to her. And I was like, what kind of controlling, abusive shit is this? Because you're mad she can't have people come over to talk to her and support her. Like, he was doing way too much. He was irate, okay? And everybody is like, dude, you really need to calm the hell down. Like, you doing a lot. They get on the bus to go back to the hotel, and he continues to scream and holler about it and was like, I'm going to make this bus ride a living hell because I don't know who they thought they was messing with. I don't know how they thought they was going to come and talk to me about my situation, about my business, and it was just going to be hunky-dory. Now I'm about to go off. So he sits on the back of the bus and screams and hollers. He doesn't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You should have stayed out of my business. I told you multiple times, don't worry about what the fuck going on with me and Paige. Going off. And Eric is constantly like, dude, just calm down. Eventually, Eric is going to lose his temper. And when that happens, I'm not going to be upset with him. Chris needs his ass whipped because you do way too much. Yes, Virginia is being, you know, honestly, like borderline Karen with the way she's in y'all business. But at the same time, dude, all this aggression is not called for. You did this to yourself. A part of this show is talking about your relationships. And if you don't want to talk about your relationship, then you don't need to get on a reality show about relationships. Hello. Hello. So they have the last dinner before everybody goes home. And Virginia and Eric, once again, are not at the table when everybody else is at the table, okay? Paige thanks everyone for their support and openness with her during this time, and they're going to handle their issues. Chris says that, you know, it's been a really touchy subject for him. And he talks about how he called his grandmother to pray for him. And she was like, you have a wife. Ask her to pray for you. So he asked Paige, and Paige laid hands on him, and it calmed him. And it really cracked the door open on him realizing that she could calm him the way his grandmama and his great-grandmama can. And I was just like, oh, great. So you can further rely on her like a mother figure instead of like a wife. Okay, got you. Okay, got that one. But he apologizes publicly to her for the way he's treated her and being emotionally distant during this time, okay? He says everything you would think that we want to hear. Jacob was the only one that commented, and he was like, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I really don't give a fuck because I can't never read Chris, all right? Virginia and Eric come up. You know, they had to go get a shot, of course. So they sit down at the table, and Eric is like, Chris, I just want to say that after what happened today, I want you to no longer have any conversations with my wife. If you have anything to say to her, please direct it towards me. Ryan says, let me interject and let you know that Chris came to the table apologetic tonight. I feel like Chris was always more apologetic to Ryan and Clara than he was to Virginia and Eric, specifically because Virginia continues to pry and Eric backs her up. Okay, but that's because he's drunk, and so he's just going along with whatever she wants to do. Chris then tries to explain to Eric that he'd already asked them to respect his privacy, and then they made little jokes, and today was his breaking point. The only joke you're talking about is her asking if the baby was really his. That was not a joke. That was a valid question. I don't understand why you're so upset about it, and it personally makes me feel like you obviously still have feelings for the ex. And the fact that you think, that or anybody would think that she would have a baby with somebody else is not only disrespectful to her, but disrespectful to you and your whole image, that nobody would ever do something like that to you. Put you in that position because you the shit. Child, if y'all don't get Camel cigarettes the fuck away from me, y'all, he's working on my nerves. Like, even though Eric and Virginia are definitely giving off Kevin and Karen vibes, a little bit, even though I like them, I still get the vibe. But I feel like Chris is allowed to act like a tyrant. He's allowed to act like a complete and utter asshole. And there are no repercussions. And it's just like, well, you were prying in my business. Dude, you on a reality show with a whole bunch of other couples talking about relationships. What you thought was going to happen. Okay? But the thing that killed me, because it seems that they weren't getting anywhere in the conversation, Virginia stands up and, tries to get Eric to leave. Chris is like, whatever you want to do, bro. Whatever you want to do. And he stands up, and Vince is on it. Vince comes all the way around the table and pushes Chris away from the table because he's on one and about to try to fight somebody that's not even standing. Somebody come get this stupid ass boy, because you're embarrassed because of what you've done. You feel ashamed because of what you've done. And overreacting to everybody being appalled and taken aback or even giggling at your messy ass is ridiculous to me. Okay, you put yourself in this situation, and I feel like there's no real self-responsibility. And that's why Jacob probably read you as coming off disingenuous, because you're apologizing to look good, not because you really feel like you did anything to apologize for. Virginia's lack of responsibility in this situation is quite annoying to me, as if she doesn't realize that she constantly pried at someone who doesn't want to be messed with, who doesn't want to be talked to, who obviously has trouble controlling himself. Like Clara said, why would you continue to poke the bear? You know what I'm saying? So Virginia and Eric walk away, and she's like, if my dad or my brothers would have seen that, it would have been over for him. So I just, I'm glad that Eric handled it the way he did. And Vincent and Chris walk away together, and Brianna and Paige walk away together. And, dinner is basically ruined because Chris can't get himself together, and Virginia and Eric, are on one or on alcohol or whatever. I think everybody played a part, but I think Chris is especially to blame for this, because Chris could have had a conversation with Eric and Virginia and it would have been over. Him having to blow up and stand up and run after somebody, it's ridiculous. Dude, it ain't that deep. You're mad at yourself, not Eric or Virginia for that matter, even though that bitch is messy. So Ryan and Clara have a conversation in which it kind of seems like he's roundabout telling her to keep her mouth shut. Don't get involved in that foolishness no more. Keep your mouth shut. And I don't know how I feel about that. She says she feels like he's controlling her, and I definitely can see that for sure. It's not aggressive, but it's in a way that gets the point across. And she already is somebody that's scared he may not love her. So anything he asks of her, I feel like she's going to try to make it happen out of fear of losing him in the first place. But yeah, I'm just kind of looking at Ryan and Clara like, okay, that might be an issue too. Jacob and Haley have a conversation in which he expresses that he needs her to give him something because she's not showing him anything, and he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how he's being received. He doesn't know what the reception, he needs to be able to dip his toe in the water and see what it's like. And he has no idea what's going on in her head. And instead of saying what it is, she basically was like, something's missing. She can't really explain, but something's missing. And then she said that he's expecting her to act as if they've been married for a year when it's only been a few days. And it's like, yeah, but at the same time, you have sex with them and now you're pulling back and he doesn't know how you feel. Was the sex bad, bitch? Is that what the issue is? Like, that's what he's really asking. Was the sex bad? Okay? What I need from you is understanding. How can we communicate when you don't hear what I say? That's what I'm feeling like right now. Okay, so now I'm at a point where Haley ain't shit. Okay? So apparently, Haley told Jacob that they were going to have a girls' night. So Jacob's like, great, go ahead, go out. He goes downstairs and sees Haley with all of the other couples, not just the women, but their husbands as well. And then they ran from him when he saw them. Wow. What a piece of shit. Like, I'm sorry, but to make him feel like that, what a piece of shit. Haley, you're a piece of shit. Like, for this, that was down bad, bitch. I have no patience for you. So, everybody's packing up to leave. And the episode actually ends with Chris telling Paige that he has talked to his ex and they've had conversations. Those conversations have arose about them getting back together to raise the baby together, which is contradictory to what he just told Paige about wanting to work it out with her and wanting to be with her. So now she's saying she's done. She's upset. So Paige comes back into the room because she needs to have some clarity on this situation. You're having conversations about getting back with your ex-girlfriend, ex-fiance, baby mother. Is that what you're saying? He says, well, we had those conversations, but you didn't ask me anything. You didn't ask me about my finances. You didn't ask me about this. You didn't ask me about that. So it's her fault that she's scared to ask questions. When the last time somebody asked you a question, i.e. Virginia, is, are you sure the baby's yours? You flip the fuck out and play victim. So you being volatile has also made her not want to ask you questions, and you have the audacity to blame her for that. You're such a huge asshole. It's ridiculous. Then he turns around and says that both of them could leave, but he realized yesterday he's spiritually attracted to her. I said, what the fuck does that mean? You spiritually attracted to her? Like I told y'all, he sees all these things in Paige. Oh, she's gonna stick with me throughout this. Oh, she's gonna pray over me. Oh, she's gonna make sure I calm down. He sees a mother in Paige. And he's going to have a side bitch that he fucks. He sees a mother in Paige. Paige is so stupid that actually convinced her that after everything, God is still ordering her steps. And she really hopes that everything works out. But, you know, she believes in love and she believes in a beautiful, you know, potential story that they have here. And I'm just like, oh, so you're going to continue to be a dumb bitch. Okay, gotcha. We'll see. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one.